Hello there, welcome to MNB World Interview Time. Today I have Director of Asian, African, Australian Media Department of the Ministry of Information of the State of Kuwait, Mr. Mazen Ali Zakaria Al-Ansari, to talk about Kuwaiti media, Arabic world and Kuwaiti in a whole. Well, hello sir, and I'm very lucky that I caught you.
I'm lucky to be here, to this beautiful country.
Well, tell us about the purpose of your visit in Mongolia. Is it your first time here, second time here? What is the work here and the purpose?
Thank you for having me. This is my first visit to Mongolia. We had a media delegation from Mongolia visit Kuwait back in March. I represent the Foreign Media Department. We are specialized in Asia, Africa, and Australia. So the Mongolian media delegation that came to Kuwait in March was under my jurisdiction.
Right.
We had a couple of people accompany the delegation. We took them to many, let's say, important locations in Kuwait. They interviewed some of our government officials. They were tourists for a while as well. So this is kind of a reciprocal visit, a reply visit. We have come to Mongolia upon the invitation from your Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and it's been an amazing visit. We have been to many locations, visited some important people, among them the Chamber of Commerce, your city council, MNB headquarters, Mongol TV, Eagle TV, and other places. So it's been an amazing visit. Our main objective really is for media exchange, to make friends with media organizations and individuals, important individuals in Mongolia, and to have this dialogue, communication between us and Mongolia. I mean, I hope we are able to continue this media exchange of delegations visiting back and forth. It promotes friendship, promotes development of international communication, and maybe it may lead to other things, economic exchange, economic benefits, and others.
Right. So, in other words, this is the first time media to media from Mongolian media, Kuwait media having dialogue. Is it the first time?
According to my knowledge, this is the first media team to visit Mongolia. But I think that there was a previous Mongolia media delegation that visited Kuwait before my tenure, before I was department head. But the media delegation that visited in March is the first one that I administered. Yes.
So, if not a secret, what kind of projects, the cooperations are being talked over during your visit?
Well, first of all, media or political relations between Kuwait and Mongolia go back to 40 years. Yeah. So this is a way to develop ties, is to have this media exchange.
Right.
As I said, the main objective is we are trying to promote Kuwait in Mongolia, and at the same time promote Mongolia back in Kuwait. Our Emir, our head of state, Sheikh Sabah, is very fond of Mongolia. He's visited here before. Our previous Emir as well.
Right.
So the Kuwaiti citizen wants to know what's special in Mongolia. Why does our head of state go there? And we are trying to show them.
When I was going over about information about Kuwait, and you are from the Ministry of Information In Mongolia, we don't have Ministry for Information. So can you tell our audience about the Ministry of Information and its function? Because it might be very interesting to our audience.
Well, the Ministry of Information, as you know, we have several ministries. Ministry of Information is the one that regulates, let's say, the TV, television, the radio, the printed material. Among other things, we also have a National Council for Culture, Arts, for lettered people who write books. And this also is part of the Ministry of Information. We have also another sector that specializes for youth development, the youth of Kuwait. So it's a huge, we also have printed materials. We have a printing press, the largest in Kuwait.
So all these organizations directly under the ministry?
Under one minister, Minister of Information, that's correct. And so it's also the official voice of Kuwait, let's say.
Right. Because
we have the official news, Kuwait News comes out from the Ministry of Information in both Arabic and English on TV. We have a dedicated English channel for the past, I think, since the inception of the ministry. I may be wrong, but as far back as to my knowledge. So it's not new. It has a lot of experience over the years. We've interviewed some very prominent, important people from leaders and high-ranking officials from all over the world. So it's a huge complex. I think more than 8,000 employees in total.
8,000 employees under the Ministry of Information.
Correct. The different department sectors.
Well, you, Mr. Al-Ansari, have over 25 years of experience in media, especially targeting English-speaking audience. Since 1993, I think.
Correct.
Since 1993. So, can you tell us about the English-speaking media development in Kuwait, state of Kuwait?
Well, I think
very briefly. It doesn't have to be very.
No. I'll just detail what I feel is important. English is an international language, probably #1 international language. It's very important to be able to speak English. Furthermore, we have a huge English-speaking community in Kuwait. Kuwait is 4.4 million inhabitants right now. Of those, 1.3 million, or 1/3, are Kuwaiti. The rest are expats from all over the world.
Rest are 1/3. Wow.
Double the citizens are expats.
Wow.
Of those, just so that you can feel how many English speakers we have in Kuwait, to comprehend the number, almost 1 million Indian nationals are working and living in Kuwait. 960,000 to my last knowledge, the latest statistics. So, and those are mostly English speakers. So if they need to know news, local news about Kuwait, they need to turn on. Yes, they need to turn on the English channel. Now, I just gave you a number of the Indians. We have a very big population of Filipinos who also speak fluent English. We have Americans, military and otherwise, embassy staff, military and engineers, you name bankers in the banking sector, doctors who are working in Kuwait. Those are also English speakers. In the past, well, let's say 20 years ago, we were concentrating a lot on international news. International news is tough to compete with, especially when you have CNN, BBC, Al Arabiya, Al Jazeera, you name it. There are so many that have branched out recently. So in order to compete with them, it's difficult. You cannot. So we can compete with them in our local news. And the local news is what people need. English speakers. They need to know about Kuwaiti laws, they need to know about traffic laws, immigration laws, banking laws, etc. And so we found that to concentrate more about local coverage is more important than international
and the international
coverage.
news coverage.
Absolutely.
Right.
And so this has been, I think, a successful experiment over the past few years, and so we are concentrating a little bit more, especially in the English channel, about local coverage than international coverage.
So you have done already 25 years of English media, English news outlet.
Of those 25 years, don't mean to cut you off, but I've been a news announcer, and I continue to be a news announcer, official news of the state of Kuwait, both on radio and television.
On radio as well?
The FM, yes, the local FM station. But I also have another department that I manage, which is the foreign media department, specializing in Asia, Africa, and Australia. This is the department that seeks to make friendships with other media channels from all over the world.
I want to ask about your experience when you were beginning the English-speaking media in the beginning. What was the main challenge you had to face, because you were there witnessing everything?
Yeah, a good question. You know, I think the main challenge when English is a second language is translation.
Right.
You want to deliver accurate, unbiased, and as proper a translation as you can deliver, especially when, you know, maybe you could understand, because translating from Mongolian to English, Arabic news is when we get news from, let's say, the President's office, our head of state office, the Emir of Kuwait, or the Crown Prince's office, or we call them the Amiri Diwan, the Diwan of His Highness the Crown Prince. We also have the cabinet, the ministerial cabinet, and the parliament. This news comes to us in Arabic, especially the news that's coming from the Amiri Diwan and from the Crown Prince's Diwan. Arabic is poetic. It's like almost like reading poetry.
Traditional.
Yes, so if you do a direct translation, it sounds okay, but you know, sometimes the message gets lost. So you're not really delivering, or it's hard to understand the message that you're trying to deliver. Translation requires vast knowledge and experience in the language. This is something that's tough to really, let's say, tackle. But other objectives, such as finding the people, people are malleable. You can easily teach them. You can easily, you know, get them to be more and more involved in the seat you want them to take, such as maybe editing, such as you know,
the journalists, reporters.
And, this is not so tough, especially, you know, my experience, or the people I've met here in Mongolia, very highly intelligent, highly knowledgeable, reading a lot. We interviewed the CEO of Golnit Bank, unbelievable guy. You know, I was very impressed with the knowledge he had, the historical background. I was very impressed. So these people are easy to develop, to teach, and to teach them the different angles. The English language is another issue. This is going to be a challenge. But I admire you for you know, taking on this project. I think it's very important that you have an English-speaking channel.
Well, my last question is about the Arabic world, and especially in Kuwait, the falcon. The falcon is very highly appreciated, symbolic bird in Arab world, not only in Kuwait, I believe.
Yeah.
So
and the Gulf countries in general.
In general,
all the 6 GCC countries.
And then, well, there are people, to my knowledge, I know many people from Arabic world, Gulf countries, who are interested in Mongolian falcons. And some falcons, some people came to Mongolia and get falcons back home. So I just wanted to ask, what happens with those falcons in Arabic world? Is there a competition? Are they treated well? We don't know.
Well, the last question, I believe they're very, very well treated. You know, falconry is a controversial issue. These are beautiful, rare birds. And I think Mongolia just happens to have some of the highestly sought after birds. I'm not a specialist in this field, but I know that our head of state comes for this purpose. He loves those birds. He also loves the nature, you know, the peacefulness. You know, your tourism hasn't really expanded to a level where, you know, still you have areas where you can sit and have peace and quiet, you know, not the congested touristic sites like others in the rest of the world. But going back to falconry, you know, it's a controversial, collecting falcons is a controversial issue. I think it should be regulated by governments, and there should be strict laws to regulate and make sure that these laws are being adhered to. It's a beautiful bird. You know, I had an eagle stand on my hand yesterday, and I took pictures, close pictures, a vulture and an eagle, close-up pictures of the head. They're amazingly beautiful birds. So I haven't seen any falcons yet, but those birds are, it's a passion in our part of the world. They're collected, they're exchanged, sold at some unbelievable prices. I mean, I've heard something $100,000 and above.
$100,000 and above.
And more, yes, for certain birds. You know, they have their own qualifications. I don't know what they are. But so they're very well taken care of, very well fed. They're put in special, you know, temperatures that the birds are comfortable with. It's a science. And then they use them for races, for competition, for hunting. They hunt small animals.
Oh, they hunt small animals with falcons?
Yes.
Like they do in with
like rabbits or smaller birds.
I see.
And you know, we have a desert. It's a vast desert with many little reptiles and other animals, rabbits in some areas, and pheasants, you know. And so they hunt with them. It's a passion. It's a passion. It's a sport. It's a very expensive one.
A very expensive passion and hobby.
Yes.
I'd say. So. I assume I could say those falcons who are leaving Mongolia with people, most of the time legally, but I heard illegal. As you said, it's a controversial topic. But when they go into the Arabic world, they are treated well, and they live very good life.
Yes, they are on the logos of many of the GCC countries. If you see our logo, Kuwait, we have a small bird. The center of it, a falcon. I think the UAE as well, and others. But yes, it is a very well-loved
loved
bird.
Animal.
Absolutely.
Loved bird.
It's a passion, it's a hobby, and a very expensive one at that. And when you pay something so expensive, you spend so much money for, you have to take care of it. You have to baby it, feed it the best food possible.
Because you are paying that much money.
You spoil it, you know. You know, but again, as you said, it's a controversial issue. You know, people. There should be some laws and regulations to protect this bird, which is a rare bird and a beautiful one.
Right. Well, thank you very much, sir.
My pleasure.
And I would like to leave the last minute to you. If there is anything you would like to say representing Kuwaiti media to our audience, it's your moment.
Thank you. I'm lucky to be here. I'm lucky to be the first media team to visit, Kuwait media team to visit Mongolia. We are going to work to continue this media exchange in the near and long-term future. I'm hoping to convince my undersecretary to come with me next time, hopefully, or not with me, with another team. The main thing is to continue this exchange which promotes friendship, which promotes bilateral relations, which and from it I hope other factors, other issues, other topics can be promoted and developed as well.
Flourished.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you next time. Yeah?
Inshallah. Thank you.
And that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We will see you next Monday with our news time. Have a great evening. Goodbye.